Resident Evil
month. Alright, so today we're doing a look back at review for Resident Evil 4. Plus we're probably inevitably going to talk a little bit about the remake. I also want to specify that I did see the entire game first in Let's Plays. Could have some impact on my judgment. So on to the review. RE4 is a great, iconic action horror game whose influence can still be felt today, especially in the Resident Evil sequels that came afterward. The shooting is really good, and lining up shots has a real good feel to it. It works really well at the pace of the zombies. And yes, I know the game says that they're not zombies, but they're former people and they attack in hordes, and they're not fully conscious. The only not zombies I agree with is Deadites, because there's a demon possession thing and they're more conscious. Anyway, back to the review. The controls mostly feel pretty modern, except that you can't turn the camera to turn the character. You have to sort of have to pivot Leon by turning the left stick left or right. It's a bit hard to get used to at first. There's some people who were complaining that in the remake you can move while aiming. I honestly didn't even really notice that until it was pointed out. And I think they'll just make the zombies move a bit faster to compensate. I like how the shooting has these combos into special melee prompts. They have a real good feel to that sort of sequence. I also think this is the first game to use the hold the knife out and then swipe with the other button. That sort of knifing system, it's good and it works good in the other RE games. For dodging, they have QT prompts, which I feel could have been better. And I hope there's a dedicated dodge mechanic in the remake. Also, the cutscene QTs are a bit overused, but my main problem with them is that you have to rewatch fair bits of cutscenes sometimes if you die. There's good weapon variety and most of the weapons feel pretty good to use. The upgrades aren't great though, because there's no real reason to upgrade anything but firepower or maybe capacity a couple times. Hopefully they address that in the remake. And also hopefully you get your classic laser sight back through an upgrade. This game has a system where it gives you just barely enough health and ammo to get by. It's supposed to build tension, but I think it can be a bit more annoying sometimes. The bosses are decent. They have interesting sort of secrets to help you defeat the boss, but they're definitely fightable without them. There's also those sort of secrets with regular enemies, like the flashbangs killing the head-exploding monsters. The game is fairly linear, but there is good room-based level design. There's some good cinematic gameplay moments, like the minecart bit or the truck chase sequence. The puzzles are extremely easy, but they are important for the RE atmosphere, so they're not completely useless. The story's a decent rescue someone, save the day sort of thing. This is the game where RE took a shift toward action, or changed the balance of the action horror, but I like both action and horror, so I think it was fine here. And Resident Evil has always had a bit of an action-oriented side. You know, every game ends with a big explosion. And this game still feels like RE because of the atmosphere. There's good archetypal Resident Evil characters. That being said, there's some things where, there's some character traits and sort of moments probably, you couldn't really get away with today. Things a bit different from the 2000s. Yeah, they're definitely going to change Carlos and Ashley a lot in the remake, like it or not. But I hope they don't overcompensate and betray the characters or make them the opposite of what they were. But Capcom seems to stay true to their characters in the remakes in the past, so I hope they'll do it right again. I also like how Leon I think it's sort of fun how Leon goes from rookie to, You know, this cool action hero between games. And it's kind of funny how it seems like maybe they're pushing him too hard to be an action hero. There's good classic awkward RE dialogue, and I hope they don't change that too much for the remake. There's good RE atmosphere to crippled villages and spooky castles. It might not be quite as good as RE 1 or 2, but it's still pretty good. There's something weird about the lighting where it doesn't seem to affect how the models look, no matter what the lighting is. They always look at the same level of brightness, and they always look a bit too bright. There's pretty good creature design. There's also good animations for attacks and Leon's deaths. Overall, this is a really good classic action horror game. I give it a 9.04. Thank you to anyone who likes, comments, or subscribes. Yeah, so let me hear what you have to say about Resident Evil or this game in particular. That's it.
Thank you.